Is it just me, or did Autism Awareness Month feel a little bit different this year?
Instead of listening to this canard of epidemic denial, all you have to do is start reading a little science, because the answer is very clear. And this is catastrophic for our country.
Okay, yeah, so maybe this year was a little bit different. Hey everybody, my name's Ben Schatzel. For the past 5 years, I've been working with companies to help them strategically hire autistic talent. And today, I have just one question. Have we reached the end of autism awareness? Now, it goes without saying that autism has been getting more and more exposure over recent years. And as we're all aware, autism diagnoses have gone up. This uptick in diagnosed autistic people has undoubtedly led to an increase in overall cultural awareness. But if awareness was the solution, we'd see real progress. Instead, here's the reality. Autistic people are 87% more likely to be unemployed or underemployed, up to 25 times more likely to attempt suicide, and autistic people still face extreme prejudice.
And these are kids who will never pay taxes, they'll never hold a job, they'll never play baseball, they'll never write a poem, they'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
Yeah. Now, typically when we hear about awareness campaigns, they're focused on diseases, breast cancer awareness, ALS awareness. Heck, even mental health awareness is talking about mental illness. But autism isn't a disease, so why do we keep treating it like one?
I am autism. I'm visible in your children, but if I can help it, I am invisible to you until it's too late. I know where you live, and guess what? I live there too. I hover around all of you. I know no color barrier, no religion, no morality, no currency. I speak your language fluently, and with every voice I take away, I acquire yet another language. I work very quickly. I work faster than pediatric AIDS, cancer, and diabetes combined. And if you are happily married, I will make sure that your marriage fails.
That PSA came out this century. It was put out by the largest autism nonprofit in the world. It was directed by an Academy Award-winning filmmaker. The PSA, titled I Am Autism, came out in 2009. And even though the rhetoric is very harmful, it gives us a glimpse into the sober reality of what people were talking like in regards to autism very recently. As more and more people feel comfortable disclosing their neurotype, we gain an increased awareness around autism. Yet it feels like our understanding of autism has barely changed. If you ask the typical person what they know about autism, they might mention Rain Man, Elon Musk, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. And it's true. Autism has undergone a Hollywoodification with shows like Atypical, Love on the Spectrum, or The Good Doctor. Now, of course, media representation matters. But the reason that authentic representation matters is because it can both validate somebody's lived experience and illustrate the challenges that people from various backgrounds face in real life. And that, I think, is the core of our problem. Because even though we've experienced this collective cultural burst of autism awareness, well, that's it, I guess. We're just aware. The same way that we are about breast cancer or ALS or mental health. But we're not talking about the structural problems that disproportionately affect autistic people. Because awareness is not going to get us to that conversation. Autism awareness will continue framing the conversation the exact same way that it has, where we view autistic people as victims rather than as a fundamental aspect of our shared human experience. And there's a word for this. It's called acceptance. I'm not saying that we have to choose between autism acceptance or awareness. In fact, When we talk about autism acceptance, we are inherently bringing more awareness to the issue. But we're bringing it to specific barriers rather than just being aware that autistic people exist. When we center the conversation around acceptance, we can start to build awareness around specific barriers. Things like job processes that aren't accessible, social norms that center neurotypicals, educational approaches that aren't accessible to neurodivergent people, and of course, fighting misinformation which misrepresents the autistic experience.
I referred to a number of studies. There are many, many, many others in the scientific literature that absolutely explode this mythology that this is, that the autism epidemic is not real. If you read the literature, it is absolutely indefensible to continue to promote this. But it doesn't take you to read the literature.
Let's take a look at a specific example. Job interviews. These can be intimidating and uncomfortable for both neurodivergent and neurotypical people. But when questions are presented in a subjective and spontaneous way, autistic people are put at a disadvantage. By making some simple tweaks, such as giving the questions 24 hours ahead of time, or even just phrasing the questions in an objective way, we can give all candidates an equitable opportunity to land the job. And this allows companies to pick the hire who's the best fit for the position, rather than the interviewee who demonstrates the most charisma in the room, especially for positions where charisma is not a key performance indicator. Autism awareness helps us recognize that status quo hiring is not equitable for autistic job seekers. But autism acceptance can help us identify specific areas where we can adjust the environment so that all people can be successful. I'd love to know what you think. Let's talk about it in the comments. And what other conversations do you think we should be having to push for true inclusion? If you watched till the end of the video, please hit subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications. You've been watching Spectrum Network. See you next time.